Bismillah Rahman Rahim, my dear students. I welcome you in this series of our online classes. Today our presentation is about the great poem. The poem is entitled Samson Agonistes. This is a great poem written by a great scholar, highly erudite person, well known in English literature, and his chief contribution is enrichment of English language. He is John Milton. The name Milton suggests scholarship, erudition. So before starting our reading of the poem, it is necessary to understand the background and introduction of a poet. John Milton was great poet and contributor of English language. He was erudite. His great achievement is his scholarship. His supreme quality lies in grand style. Often Milton is attributed and eulogized, praised highly because of his grand style. His grand style is fusion of grandeur of thought and grandeur of language. He was master of grand style. Grand style has won him great recognition. His entire style was based on classical figures of, based on usage of classical figures of speech. Like he has implied Homeric similes in his most of his poems in his great work that was Paradise Lost. It is said that Milton is present in every line, and great contribution, recognition, and great honor was given to Milton by William Wordsworth, that he was a star that dwelt apart. So, my dear students, today our reading is about Samson Agonistes. Samson Agonistes, this poem is divided in 7 stanzas, and the rhyming scheme of the poem is that this poem is divided. This poem follows rhyming scheme of blank verse. Unlike that we studied about the blank verse that was used by William Shakespeare, Milton's blank verse is full of words, full of verbosity. Milton's blank verse is heavier than that of Shakespeare. This was the blank verse that he has mostly implied in his great verse. The great example is again Paradise Lost. The lines starts is, he patient but undaunted where they lead him, came to the place, and what was set before him, which without help of eye might be essayed, to heave, pull, draw, or break, he still performed. The scenario that is depicted in this poem is about a celebration, probably annual celebration, and Milton Agonistes is a hero of drama. He was brought before nobility, brought before large gathering, and he was supposed to perform a feat, to show his strength, and he was captive. He was made captive because behind his captivation there was a hand of his wife, and due to treachery of his wife he was captive, he was enslaved, and nobility was supposed to enjoy his skill, his strength, so he was brought before large gathering during annual celebration. He patient, undaunted, he was undaunted, courageous. People led him, he was led by slaves, by people, and was supposed to perform some skill, some feat, some strength. So came to the place, and what was set before him. There was a large gathering, a theatre, a drama, a stage was set before him, and he was taken as a prisoner before large gathering. There nobility offered him or advised him to perform certain tasks, certain action that could cheer up the large gathering. Which he came to the palace, what was set before him, which without help of eye might be essayed. And that was based on his skills. To heave, pull, draw, or break, he still performed. He performed many tactics, many courageous, valorous skills, all with incredible, stupendous force. His entire show was based on his courage, entire show was based on his struggle. In the next stanza like that, none daring to appear antagonist. There was no one who could fight him, there was no rival before him, because his strength was unparalleled, his strength was unequal, no one was there to defeat him, no one was there to compete him in terms of strength, in terms of skill, in terms of feat. At length, for intermission's sake, they laid him. There happened an interval, there happened a short break, and at length, between the pillars, his guide requested, for so from such a near stood we heard, is overtired to let him lean a while. After he was exhausted with great show, he was exhausted by performing certain performance tasks. He requested his guide, he requested people who were closer to him that let me have a sigh, let me have a relief, let me have some sort of break. So during this time, he was gathering momentum, he was planning certain plannings that whatever I have performed according to their will, but there is a need to perform something that can cheer up myself, that can give me a solace, that can give me comfort. So in next, the again stanza state, with both his arms on those two massy pillars, that to the arched roof gave main support, he unsuspicious laid him, which when Samson felt in his arms, with head a while inclined, and eyes fast fixed, he stood as one who prayed. See the great composition, see the great lines. This is justly said that Milton's lines are mighty lines, Milton's lines are powerful lines, because these lines ultimately prove him as a writer of grand style. So in these lines, in this stanza, there's the picture of taking break is given, that how Milton felt, how Samson Agonistes felt, and took the support of pillars when he was exhausted from the skill from the show. And the next stanza is date, or some great matter in his mind revolved, at last with her head erect, thus cried aloud, hitherto, lords, what your commands imposed, I have performed as a reason was obeying, now not without wonder or delight beheld, now of my own accord such other trial. He was making planning that I was completely obedient to their wishes. Now there's a need to show them a greater skill, a huge performance, probably huge. That performance, that planning was running in his mind, and he made his mind that he was going to perform another feat even greater than that, and this was timely, and this feat was based on his own understanding. And thus, again, let's proceed. I mean to show you of my strength yet greater, as with amaze shall strike all who behold. Thus uttered, straining all his nerves, he bowed, is with the force of winds and waters paint, when mountains tremble, those two massy pillars with horrible convection to and fro, he tugged, he shook, till down they came, and drew the whole of roof after them with burst of thunder upon the heads of all what so beneath. In this stanza, the scenario of given that this time Samson Agonistes made up his mind that he was to bring destruction, and by sacrificing his life he brought about a destruction. What he did, he gathered movement. He is gathered with all his energy, with all his strength, with all his powers. What he did, he shook the pillars, he tugged them, shook them, moved them, and he moved them till the whole building collapsed, till the whole audience that was to show his strength, that is gathered to show the great performance of Samson Agonistes before a large gathering. He brought about, through his tactics, through his great strategy, he brought about a roof brought upon him, and thus the whole nobility was crushed, and the whole nobility was the building, the great stage that was set for entertaining audience, that was brought to doom, that was collapsed. Lords, ladies, captains, counselors are priestess, their choice, nobility, and flower not only of this but each Philistine city around, made from all past to solemnize the feast. Some Samson with these inmixed inevitably pulled down the same destruction on himself. In this great stanza, in concluding stanza, it is given that those people who died at that moment, they were all people from elite classes, people from noble ranks, all the nobility, all the people who had gathered to see the martial arts of the performance, great performance of Samson at that time, because it was their celebration evening celebration party. But what he did, Samson did, Samson ultimately gave the sacrifice of his own life, and thus he sought revenge from his enemies, because through the treachery of his wife he was made captive, he was made slave, and the people, the Idaeans who had enslaved him, they were his enemies. And he, in this great stanza, it is told that Samson now gives great supreme sacrifice of his life just to make him immortal, just to make him supreme, because he believed that great strength, great honor lies in giving great sacrifice. This was the whole poem that was based on strength, based on showing power, showing skill. And this is a poetic drama that was written by Milton. And Milton, every line of this poem glorifies Milton's grand style, Milton's contribution in contribution of language, and that's why it is called. Milton is present in every line. When we read this, such great creation that was created by Milton, such great labor, we come to know that how great Milton was, how scholarly learned, erudite, great scholar Milton was, that he has given in this. And this poem is not only about the strength of Samson, but this poem is about this poem to somewhat gives touches of autobiography, and through that character Milton has given us the lesson of sacrificing our own desires, wishes, our own feelings, and the great ideas can be compared with the world, with the worldly restrictions. Thank you, my dear students. Thank you.